Hello friends, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Jessica here, and it is technically the 10th day of Camp NaNoWriMo. Alright, so what did I do yesterday? Absolutely nothing. Yesterday was a complete shit show for me. And it kind of continued on to today, but now it is almost 1 o'clock and I'm going to try and make the best of it. So what are my plans for today? First, I'm going to finish outlining Act 1 of Book 2. I think that I need a break from life in general. So like being able to plan out something would be nice. That has nothing to do with my life, but the life of my characters. Don't mind the hair, I just threw it up because I just didn't want it in my face or down or this is what I am today. It's fine. But I'm gonna finish outlining Act 1 of Book 2. Then I'm gonna go in and summarize the rest of Act 1, get that out of the way. Then I will sit down and officially start writing for the day. Yes. And then go from there. I can do this. It'll be fine. Act 1 of Book 2 is completely planned out. It's very simple and short, but again, this is more of just for me to know the track that I'm on so that whenever I go to fully draft the first draft of Book 2, I can add more. Kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm taking the sticky notes or the note cards, which only has 1 or 2 sentences, and then I'm doing a complete summary. I'm deciding who the characters are going to be in that scene, where the setting is, what the goal is, if there's, hold on, let's see, I have the card here somewhere. So yeah, these things, the short summary, the goal, the stakes, who the characters are, what's like the what part, like sometimes I'll say why the scene is important, so where it's at, and then when, like timeline wise, so I could kind of sort of keep track. Honestly, I haven't really done the when part, but I mean, Book 1 is pretty fast paced, so, and then Book 2, it seems to be a little bit longer, like timeline wise, so we'll see. I also so with the timeline, it gets hard because the ceremonies that happen on their 21st birthday. And in order for them to be what they are, the birthdays are very important. And so I have to make sure the time passes through to make it more realistic. So, actually, let's see. So the characters' birthdays, like, one of them is in February. Is it? I guess. So one of them is in February and the next is in October. But there's also a couple years in between, if that makes sense. So the timelines have to line up that way throughout the entire series. And I feel like that's one of the things that's going to be more dealt with during Draft 2, possibly Draft 3. I'm dabbling a little bit into it during Draft 1 as much as I can, but it's harder because I don't know where it's all going to end. So maybe after I'm done with the draft of everything, I'll have more of a grasp, and so I can time it out better in the next draft. I took a lunch break. It is now 2 o'clock. Is that right? Only about an hour has passed. Anyway, I don't know if I updated. I completely outlined Act 1 of Book 2. And then I finished doing the summary portions for 5-4, 5-5, and 5-6, or 6-1, right? Yeah, 5-4, 5-5, 6-1 for Act 1 of Book 1. Sorry, this is all probably really confusing. If I didn't write it down, I'd be confused. So I'm going to, there's one scene out of the 3 scenes that I don't want to write, but I know I have to because it's important. But then the next 2 scenes after that, I'm excited to write. It's more actions, but it's more of my character in the next couple scenes accepts that this is now her life, and instead of waiting for others, she decides to take control thanks to a book from her grandmother. And this book from her grandmother has prophecies and spells. She ends up reading one of the spells and is just thrown in for a giant loop. And so this is going to kind of dictate probably the next act. Let's see. Yeah, for the most part, almost the entirety of Act 2A is going to be her going through these hoops now that she needs to go through to get on the right track of where they need to go. So I don't want to like say too much because I do eventually want to publish these books, but I think these are going to be some of my favorite scenes after the one hard one. So I just got to get through 5.4, and then 5.5 and 6.1 are going to be amazing. So let's get to actually writing. I finished scene 5.4, which is the 12th scene, and I'm gonna have to split this one in half as well. As I'm writing it, more and more is coming to me, and again, I'm liking and going where the book seems to be taking me while still being able to redirect myself. But I feel like this was a crucial part because I think that me adding in something to this scene, like early on in the scene, kind of foreshadows something else in the later books. So I'm excited for that. I also added, so these purple sticky notes are whenever I add something new that's not a part of the original outline. So in the bottom half, I think that's where I'm going to put it. It just makes more sense. I think that having those sticky notes at the bottom, because I know if I go through, if I'm only referring to the sticky notes while I'm looking at the overview of the book, I will have some missing things that I add as I'm drafting. So the purple sticky notes are where that solves that problem. That was like a very long-winded way to say I solved the problem of the outline on the boards, I guess. Yeah. So, like I said, I finished scene 12, which is 5.4, the debate. It ended at 1,896. So I've written so far today 1,809 words, which is pretty good. I'm gonna pause for a minute, get some more water, and then I will start on scene 13, which so the original scene 13, part of it is gonna end at, or part of it's gonna be at the end of 13, but then be the beginning part of 14. And then the second half that I had originally planned for scene 12 is now gonna be the first part of scene 13. So that's what I mean by everything just keeps being pushed off, but I do like what I'm adding, and I'm excited. I'm excited for it. But these next 2 scenes I'm really excited for. Like this, the next 2 scenes are complete world changing for my character. So before, she kind of, like, she's thrown into this new world, like knowing all these things, but in the debate scenes, she's finding out more and more and is still in sort of denial. But in the next two scenes, she kind of just gives in, but not like in a defeated way, in a she's gonna conquer the shit out of this world, basically. Like, she's gonna figure out what the F is going on. She's gonna basically take this world by the balls and show it who's boss. Not in a dominating way, but more in a she's gonna help solve these problems while finding her friends that had disappeared and taking control of her destiny is really what it is. So I'm gonna get water. I'm gonna start writing scene 13. I'm excited. It is a lot later. It is actually after 8 o'clock now. I took a way longer break than I planned. But I finished the second scene, which was scene 13. And then in the like little grouping, it was section 5.5. That one ended up being 1,445 words. Towards the end, I know that it feels rushed because it kind of was. There's a lot of information I have to add to it. There's a lot of things that I know I'm going to already change. So I kind of just wanted to get through it and then move on to the next scene, which the next scene is the one that's going to be my ultimate favorite, I think. Well, it's the start of something that I'm excited for. So, yeah, I'm going to get Kyler ready for bed. We're going to do our nighttime routine. And then I'll come back, write scene 14, which is section 6.1, the break into two portion, and the final scene in Act 1. Like, that is my goal. By the end of this video, this vlog, today, I will have completed Act 1 of Draft 1. And I'm happy and excited. So, let's do this. You guys, guess what? Scene 14 is done, and it is a mammoth of a scene. I thought that scene, what was it? 4 was huge with its 2,283 words. No, this one has a beat by over 300 words. So scene 14, the last scene of Act 1. I'm finished drafting Act 1. The scene ended up being a whopping 2,606 words. That's so much. But it was a good scene. I actually added a description into this one. I probably will have to improve a few of it, but still, it's done. I'm like, I almost want to start writing Act 2, but I know I should go to bed. It's just after 11 o'clock now. But, so, today was a massive success. I tackled the last 3 scenes I needed to tackle for Act 1. Act 1 is officially fully drafted. Whew, I feel like I can breathe. So, let's go over the math now. So with the 3 sprints that I did today, I ended up having 5,860 words written, which leaves the manuscript and the words I've done so far this month for Camp Nano sitting at 24,390 words. Almost 25,000 words, which is on par with my estimations of it being about 25,000 words per act. But holy crap, this is just draft 1. What is that? My fridge is making weird noises. Anyways, as I did them, like 25,000 words per act. So the fact that I'm already almost there, and I still need a lot of descriptions added in and a few things added in. I thought Kyler was up and moving around, but it's just the house settling, doing its thing. So the fact that I'm almost already at 25,000 words has me a little bit worried. But it also kind of makes sense because there was just so much in this first act that I had to put in without info dumping, which means a lot of action scenes and a lot of scenes where my main character meets other characters and they add more things, that kind of thing. But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the acts go. But for now, I am so happy. Act 1 is fully drafted. But that's a crap ton of words in 10 days. Like, what? And not even 10 days, because I didn't write for 2 of those. So in 8 days. A little over a week. Damn. But anyways, I'm going to leave this off here. I'm going to say goodnight. I almost want to start writing Act 2 because this is a good part. The very first scene in Act 2 is going to be my favorite. I know I said this one was, but the way this one ended, it didn't quite reach the part that I wanted. But it, like, concluded Act 1. So, that will be tomorrow, most likely. So, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, night, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Bye.